So what is up everyone, thank you so much for tuning back in. Today we are going to turn this completely dead and old and obsolete Mac Mini into a new server. So if you're interested in this, stay tuned. So guys, I've bought this Mac Mini, which is a Core Duo with 1.25 gigahertz, complete from eBay, and it is completely dead. I have already looked inside of this. There are cables missing and some of them are broken off and stuff like that. And I don't have the power supply either, so this Mini is really dead. So what I will do today is to turn this thing into a network attached storage by putting a Raspberry Pi in it with two hard drives with 500 gigabytes in RAID 1. So if you're interested in this, let's do this. So to open this Mini up, you have to turn it around. And then you have to pry open right in here. And off it comes. So one of the problems is that the connector for this ribbon cable, which is sitting right here, is completely broken off. The previous owner already ditched the hard drive, so shame on that. Yeah. And this, guys, is one dirty little fan. But what the heck. So what do we have right here? This is the Wi-Fi card. We have 2 sticks of RAM, which, let's have a look. Which are 512 megabytes, so we have 1 gigabyte of RAM, which I think was the standard. So this really was a completely basic model, and somebody was in here and did a lot of bad stuff with this machine. So we have a lot of corrosion here, right here. Maybe there was water damage, I'm not sure. It looks to me like it. Yes, a Wi-Fi card. Under here must be the graphic chip, and right down here is the Intel Core Duo, sorry for that, with 1.25 gigahertz. So somebody took already all of the screws out. That must be my previous owner. There's just one remaining screw, and that's right here, and that was put off right badly, so it's something like broken. I hope I can get it off. Let's have a look. Now the Mini should be free, like so. And off it comes. The CPU sits right here, and it is connected with this thermal pad to the downsides, which means that, yeah, this shielding was used as a heat sink. So welcome back, guys. A lot of time has gone by, and I've done a lot of work off camera, so I want to bring you up to date with this project, and my goal of today is to bring this project to an end. So yeah, we will have a look on how that goes. So what you see here, those two L-shaped brackets I did create on a 3D printer to hang this machine on the wall. So yeah, that's one little upgrade. Now let's come to the back, and you see there has happened a lot. It's not the cleanest of my jobs, but it works quite well. So you see two USB ports coming right off, one here and one here, and they go back in the formal video port. So what is this? I will show you now. So this is the current state. So I have put the two drives right up here. And the reason for the holes in the back is those drives are with the USB connector a bit too long, so I have to route the cables around here. And in here I have created a carriage out of the 3D printer in which my Raspberry Pi sits. Yeah. So there's one thing from the from right here that I have to do to get this all working. I have to put a USB adapter in here, a powered one, because those drives need to be spun up and the Raspberry Pi doesn't allow that much power to be drawn of it. So I will have to put this one in, yeah, and then go to the software side of things. So I think it's not the worst that I could have done. It looks quite stock, just with those two cables coming out. That's the only thing. But hey, not so bad in my opinion. So on the software side of things, I want to have Open Media Vault on it. So you Google it and you will find a download link for Open Media Vault on SourceForge, and it's this file right here called OMV _3, and it's 308 megabytes. So if you have the file, then you will need two programs to get up and running. The one is the so-called SD card formatter, and the other one is called Win32 Disk Imager. So we start with the SD card formatter, which is this one right here. You select your card, mine is G, and it tells you the capacity, and I want to overwrite the format, and then I click on format, and it will say that it will erase everything, so I know that and I want to continue. So we are done with this program. So it says it has completely formatted successfully, so that's cool. So let's close that. And now let's go into Win32 Disk Imager. We have selected the device, which is G. So let's open up the image. There it goes. And let's click on write. So here we are, and now we have to put the components back together. The important bit is that we don't put the hard drives on this thing quite yet. That will be a second step. So first thing, put the SD card in the Pi. Like so. This will be the power source, and the interesting bit is it's really important that you get a USB hub that has a power brick. We will power everything from this USB hub, even the Pi itself. So let's insert the hub and put the USB in the Pi. It's all a bit cramped, but it's like that. So I have a really short cable for the power of the Pi itself. So it goes on right here. And then we connect it right up here and give it, switch it on. Like so. Okay. So now I'm in the process of getting this thing up and running and configuring it for the first time. So let's have a look at what we have and what we need. It's really important that we don't connect our drives, our two drives for this setup, for the first initial setup. We will get them on later, just not now, because we want to configure the OS first and then load in everything else. So the the Raspberry Pi is gets power from this hub. This is a powered USB 3 hub. So this is the power output, and yes, so the Raspberry Pi gets powered from this USB hub, and at the moment I have connected a mouse and a keyboard to it to get it configured, and I have plugged it into my monitor and into Ethernet. So let's get it to work and have a look at the monitor. So let's plug her in and have a look. That's a really good sign. So we seem to boot up, but let's have a look and wait until we're done. So the kernel of the Raspberry Pi panics. I'm not really sure why. So this is, I will try to do something else, and this is, I have put RaspBN, another distribution or another operating system, on the SD card, and now I will try to start it up and have a look if that does anything else, and if I can boot up in this, I can update the kernel. So let's try that. And we are up and running in Debian, which is really nice. So the Pi is working great. Now we have to install updates and upgrades. So let's do that. So you do this by going into the terminal. And we are done. So the next step is to make an upgrade, and this is called sudo apt get upgrade, and hit enter. So, and we are done right here. So I will have to do a restart. So I have now put the original Media Vault image on it. The kernel should be updated, so let's hope for the best and start this thing up. And we have the same error as before, so we haven't cured the problem. So, small little update. I didn't get Media Vault to work, so I will do everything with so-called Samba share and the RAID 0 right in Debian. So, what I did was again installed the updates and upgrades, and now I will shut this system off, put on the drives, and then start it back up and have a look. The next step is to make the Raspberry Pi NTFS compatible, so I will install NTFS, and this goes with the command line apt-get install NTFS-3G. So this might look a little bit jerky, but what I've done is I have routed the cables in the right direction so that I can configure this system completely and then just put it together and close it up, so I don't have to unplug any cables and stuff like that. So yeah. I have now plugged in the two hard drives. I will spin them up and then give power to the Pi. So now the configuration file for my MDMA is sudo dash sudo space mdma space dash capital C V space backslash dev backslash md0 space dash l1 space dash n2 space backslash def backslash sd and then you have to add in which how they are called. In my time it's SDB and SDC, and the rate level is 1. So guys, I just wanted to sum this thing up completely because it's finished. So let's have a look at what happened. So this machine is running right now. It's working completely out of the box with the 2 hard drives and the Raspberry Pi doing a RAID 1. I have everything hooked up over Samba so that I can connect to it with my main PC over here. What you can see right here is I can connect over SSH to it, and the drives are syncing up at the moment, and we are right at 50%. This is something that takes a long time, really a huge time. I'm working on it. It's synchronizing for about 2 hours right now, but it's working, so I'm happy with that. And it's completely silent as well, so that's a really cool thing. So yeah, it's working great. And the speeds are okay-ish, but the problem at the moment is it's synchronizing up, so the speeds will be much better because the CPU of the Raspberry Pi will have nothing to do else, so that will improve quite a lot. So yeah, it's a bit of an interesting project. So yeah, this has been quite an interesting experience because of the very much things that happened and gone wrong with this project. But yeah, sometimes stuff like that happens, and You have to cope with it. So at the moment I can say it runs perfectly, and I can have a look into my data from it over all of my Windows machines, over the Samba share, so that's a cool thing. On performance I can't say anything at the moment because it's synchronizing, but I will try to put full HD material on it and watch it over the network. That will be an interesting thing. I hope it works because of the internet speeds. This Raspberry Pi doesn't have gigabit Ethernet, and I hope that the CPU is capable to do this. We will see. If not, it's not a bummer because I just want to have it host my documents so that I can work off of this machine over the network. One of the next projects that I will do with this is to put it into the internet. So I will do a port forwarding on the router, and then so that I can go onto it with my cell phone. So that will be a project for another day. So yeah, that's the state of where it's at. It's working, and I'm quite happy with it. It wasn't. This was not the way I wanted it to do, but sometimes you have to go different routes, and it's working. So I'm happy. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.